Welcome to 1Million Cups. We're so happy to be here this morning, and for me, this is a big deal because it's the first time I've been back with Ruth Ann. I was on vacation for the last couple of weeks, and I'm back, and Ruth Ann's here, and I'm so excited to have her back. This morning, we have a very special guest. I think she epitomizes one of the things that we all love about entrepreneurs in this community. She's a friend. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a business person, she's all those things wrapped into one. If you haven't shopped at her store, Flax and Wool, probably part of your household income has gone there. And I'm saying that to the men in the audience because I know that that's not an area you've branched out into, is it? So with all of us, who here has something on Flax and Wool? Did you look in your closet and pick something up? I did, so this is one of hers. She has one like it too, and I'm glad she didn't wear it because she probably looks better. But I love her. Everyone who's ever met her, she's the nicest girl and really, really has a mission, not just out there trying to sell people clothes, but I think she's a woman on a mission, definitely. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Brandy McLemore. Come on up.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So my name is Brandy. I am the owner of Flax and Wool. I'm using index cards because I tend to talk a lot and I get off track. I can jump from one subject to the next really quick. So I was born and raised in Madisonville, and I have 2 children. I'm married to John McLemore, who is a coal miner. Good morning. Some more Flax and Wool. So anyways, many of you probably wonder why I opened a clothing store in Madisonville and why I started that journey. So what happened is I was a stay-at-home mom for 4.5 years. Did not have a second income, which was very hard and fun at the same time. My husband, like I said, is a coal miner, and he decided to change his career. So he went back to school, and he is currently in school and working full-time. And he said, well, both the kids are about to be in school. Why don't you do something that you want to do? You know, why don't you go to work, do whatever, you know, your dream is? So one of the things that instantly came to mind was to open a women's apparel store. I feel like in our community, there is a lot of women and young women walking around with extremely short shorts, cleavage showing and whatnot, and for me, I don't think that that's appropriate for everyone to see. So, and I won't preach on that, but anyways, so I knew that was my vision, that I wanted to offer our community modest apparel, but yet trendy. So, I don't know what this is. So I had no clue how I was going to offer this to everyone. So I did lots of research. I knew that the first thing I needed to do was come up with a name. And good morning. So I needed to come up with a name, and I wanted my name to represent what I wanted to do, which was dress women modestly. So I instantly messaged friends and family through Facebook, through text message, saying, this is my idea, can you help me come up with a name? One of my best friends messaged me. She mentioned the woman of noble character in Proverbs. And she said, it would be so cool if you could add something in, clothed in strength and dignity. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. So she gave me the verses, and I looked into them. And so I just started Googling different words in this Bible verse to see what came to me and just prayed over it. So some of the things that I liked about Proverbs 31 was, what stuck out to me was she finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And all those things really spoke to me. I knew that I wanted to dress modestly, so the clothing, strength, and dignity really spoke to me. And just, saying, hey, I can do this. I don't have to be fearful. As long as I have my vision, I can go anywhere with this. So I kept looking into this flax and wool thing, and I came across a women's blog. It's called, Proverbs 31 Project. And this woman put, she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. Proverbs 31:13. So in this, she really looked in depth with this. And it says, in biblical times, wool and flax were significant because all clothing was made from either wool or flax. Flax was woven together to make linen. Wool was woven to make outer garments. Those people that were clothed in linen were deemed suitable to be presentable to God. So it says, wool and flax are raw materials that must be woven together to make something beautiful on the inside and the outside. So this woman says, women are called to prepare hearts and minds to be present in the Lord by our example. We are asked to pray with our loved ones and pray for our loved ones. Women must teach others to fear God, but to know God's unending love for us. It is not enough to simply teach others and pray with others. These seemingly invisible acts are our spiritual flax. Attending church, living the faith, and enjoying company of our other Christians is our spiritual wool. So together, our flax and wool make us presentable to God. Wow. This is like exactly what, modest apparel means to me. So, anyways, that's how I came up with the name Flax and Wool, and with the tagline, clothes and strength and dignity. So, many people haven't the slightest clue what it means. Why flax and wool? But we do have it on our Facebook page. So in the beginning, like I said, I figured out what I wanted to do. I instantly decided that I was just going to go ahead and get online, figure out what I needed to do as far as the business aspect of it. So I got on the Kentucky Small Business website, and it really set it up for me, like telling me what the steps were. So I didn't let myself think about it much. I just instantly did it. I got my tax ID number, I did all those things that I needed to do to set up that part. In the beginning, my vision was just to do trunk shows, to sell out of my home so I could be home with my kids because both of them were not in school full time yet. So I was going to sell out of my house, sell at trunk shows, and then hopefully within the next year, I wanted to open a brick and mortar store. So some of the challenges that I had for that was, like I said, what do I need to start a business? Where do I get the inventory? How do my customers purchase my items? How was, I going to receive payment? And in order to figure all those things out, I mainly sought mentors. That was the number one thing that I decided to do with my business in the beginning was ask for help. Sarah Brown, I've messaged her many times, I don't know how to do this. I asked anyone that's in this type of business for help. I reached out to Ann Michael. Her maiden name was McAllister. I can't think of her new name. But she owns a store in Lexington called Calypso. It's a small boutique, just like mine. A little bit differences. But so I contacted her and I said, hey, can I ask you a few questions? And she was so open. She answered every question I had. I asked, where do I find the inventory? What program do you use to bring your sales up? What are some things that you think that can help me? And so she led me to Atlanta Apparel Market. So I instantly figured out when the next one was going to be, what I needed to do to sign up with them, and went ahead and booked my hotel so I didn't back out. So I did that. Went to market with no clue what I was doing. All I knew was I wanted to find modest apparel. So I just went from booth to booth to booth to booth trying to find things. I knew I wanted good quality, a good price, and like I said, modest. But luckily, I found a showroom with another local person from Madisonville. Her name is Vicki Murphy. She's originally from here. She worked in one of the showrooms. So I was lucky to have her guidance and what to carry in Madisonville for price point and such. My original plan was just to carry tops and dresses. I felt like women could get jewelry anywhere, they could get shoes anywhere. But after going to market, it totally changed. I knew I needed jewelry to go with my outfits. I knew I needed leggings and jeans, and so I ended up doing everything. One of the things that I focused at market is to try everything. A lot of times I'm touching and feeling, I'm tugging on stuff to see if it's a good quality. A lot of the things there are small, so I'm not a small, so yes, I've got stuck in clothing there before. It's quite comical. But I knew that that was a very big thing that I needed to do. Another thing at market that I learned is I don't have to order what everyone else orders. I don't have to order in the quantities that everyone orders. If you go to market, and I know Kelly sees it, some women there are like, oh, I want that, I want this, I'm gonna take this, and you know, they end up with these huge piles and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and a lot of it ends up on the clearance rack. I try to put a lot of thought into, oh, well, I'm gonna order these leggings, I need, you know, 5 tops to make sure that it goes with those leggings. I think about the color scheme in my store. I think about my budget, you know, my budget is small. And it's small now, but it might not be small later, so I don't have to compete with those larger businesses because I'm not on their level. So I just really learned to stick with, you know, what works for me. So I did my first trunk show. I ended up going into Amanda's. She is on Sub Street. I went in there on a regular basis just because my youngest daughter she went to Methodist preschool. So while she was at school, I stayed in town and I would go to the coffee shop and go around to the different shops. And I was telling her about what I was doing. And actually, I think I was asking her questions about business, just reaching out for help. And she said, hey, why don't you just do a trunk show here? Why don't that be your first one? And I was like, okay. So I didn't have racks. So what did I do? I got on Pinterest and figured out how to build racks at a reasonable price. My husband built them for me. I showed up at Amanda's with 2 homemade racks, side by side in the middle of her store, and sold about, I think that my first budget was like $2,000. So I sold what I had. Before I went in there was lots of prayer, you know, prayer for increase, prayer for the people to come into my store, prayer for people to see, you know, what my vision is. And boy, did that store fill up. Amanda kept saying beforehand, she was like, you know, we're really not busy on this type of weekend, blah, 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 you know, and I was like, oh, it's okay. It's going to be great. Well, it was. Amanda seen that, and she said, you know, I've got this hallway back in the store. There's a lot of junk in it right now, but what would you think about fixing it up and selling your stuff out of my store? I was like, okay, well, let's think about it a little bit, you know, and she was like, well, I don't know if for sure I want to do it, but it might be something I'm interested in. I was like, okay. So I came back the next day and finished my trunk show, and at the end of the day, she's like, yeah, let's do this, you know, so her and her husband reached out to me, and I hope that I can do this for someone in the future. They created this awesome space. It wasn't just a hallway. It was a little miniature store built in her store. They took out the old ceiling tiles. They put old doors across the ceiling to make it look unique. They left the doorknobs on. They put pipes on the wall for me to hang my stuff up. They provided me with racks, fancy racks. I didn't have my wooden racks somewhere. And they helped me merchandise it, really cute. That's something that Amanda's really big on, is merchandising her things. So, but the good thing about doing this so early was I didn't have to be there full time. Amanda said, let me just sell it for you. You come in, you put it out, and I'll sell it for you. And all I ask from you is just a small portion of your sales to help pay for the square fee and to provide more bags. So to me, that was an amazing thing. Like I said, I hope I get to do that to somebody else. So I received a full-time income on part-time hours, and it was a true blessing. So we started that the second week of July in 2014. So it went really well. By Christmas, my business was debt-free because I started with a credit card. Like I said, I didn't have any money. I didn't keep much of the money, I just kept putting it back into my business. My business was debt-free at Christmas. So I went to Disney World, got gifts for Christmas, and while I'm on vacation, Amanda says, I hope you don't mind, but we moved some of your stuff around and we created you more space. It's like, okay, that's great. So when I got back, she did create me more space. We merchandised my apparel in her store together, similar to a store called Anthropology. So we kind of based it off that. So I had my racks out in her store. I had more stuff hanging up in the hallway. We had stuff hanging on the walls. It was really cool. So after that, after Christmas, the spot came available across the street. I didn't really want to do it at the time because that wasn't my original vision. It wasn't time for that yet for me. Both my kids weren't in school yet, but my family on Soap Street really emphasizes that, well, you might as well go ahead and do it. We're here for you, blah, blah, blah. So with lots of prayer, I decided to take the spot across the street, but I knew I couldn't do it myself. So I called my mom. I was like, hey, want to retire? And she was like, yeah. I was like, why don't you sell kids' clothes in my store, Reason for kids' clothes is we wanted to offer more to our community, different products. Why fill my store with women's apparel when I can offer something else to our community? So she agreed. So with doing that, I'm able to have my own store. I'm able to leave at 2 o'clock every day during the school year. I can go pick up my kids from school. I can still go home, do their homework, and such. And mom still gets some kind of retirement because she only has to be at work at 2 o'clock. She works 3 hours a day. So other than on Fridays and Saturdays, we both try to stay in there and work together because we stay pretty busy. Since being in the new location, which was April 25th is when we opened, we chose to open on the gallery hop day. It was huge, and it was a lot of fun. Madisonville really took to it, and I'm very thankful for that. We've surpassed our goals that we've set for ourselves. 75% of our customers every day are new still, so I really see growth in that. The reason for my growth is just staying on the path of my vision. And also, I have decided, my husband and I do this in our personal finances, we pay our tithes off the top of what he makes, 10%. So instantly with my business, I chose to do that. So before I pay my rent, before I buy my inventory, 10% of that gross sales is going straight to my church. What does that do? That helps my church, that helps our community, that gets God's message out, and it comes back to me. And I really feel like that's where my growth came from. I don't just give my tithes. We've also recently given money to our church to go to Honduras, and that's something that we, are praying about and hopefully can continue to do that. I feel very strong about giving to others, and maybe even finding something in Madisonville that we can give to also. So our new vision, since moving, I've already conquered my goal. I'm in my own brick and mortar store full time. Our new vision is to master Facebook and Instagram. That is huge for boutiques. I'm so lost on it. So what did? I called Sarah Brown. I was like, who do you know that can help me with Facebook and Instagram? She instantly got me a meeting with a lady that is great with that. She sat down with me one-on-one, showed me visually how to do it. And we've been doing some things slowly with our Facebook and our Instagram to improve on that and gain more customers. We also just recently started an email list. We feel like that's another way to gain our customers. It's another personable way that we can reach out to our customers, let them know our sales. Maybe even just to get in contact with them. And it's a good way for them to share it with others. I have no clue anything about websites. I know what I want it to look like. I don't know how to reach that point. So we looked into it a little bit with Squarespace, and I'm still kind of lost with it. So what we're doing is working with Square, the register that we use. They have a product where we can sell online through our register. It's free to us, other than the credit card fee, just like our Square. It's not as fancy, but it's a way to get started with our online store. And like I said, it's free, so it's great for our bottom line. Another thing that we hope to do this year is to work on branding. We hope to have our own Flax tags. We hope to have them within our tops and our bottoms to really get that message out. Why do we want to do that? Because I don't plan on being a small business forever. Although I love being a small business, I see this in the future as being growth. So my big thing is, you want to be big, you got to fake it till you make it. So what does everybody do? Gap has their own tags. Old Navy does. So there's no reason that I can't do that too. So we are looking into that. How I'm doing that is asking questions. I've asked vendors, hey, do you know how I do this? How do your other customers brand their items? And so we're on the good track with that. So what are our hopes and dreams for our company? We hope to give more to our community. We hope, for more growth. And we hope to open, more stores. So that's all I got. Any questions? No
I don't have a
questions? I did really good then.
I don't have a question, but I certainly want to applaud your faith and taking that and bringing that to your business and using that to reach out to your church and your community.
Right.
I think so many people lose sight of that. And look what you've done with it. I applaud you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, you said that you want to get bigger. How? What is your vision?
Just like everything else I've done, it's a small step process. So like I said, I'm going to do my website and how I'm going to reach out to people outside of our area is we plan on making pop-up stores. That's a really inexpensive way for us to advertise. We're doing the National Flea Market in October. The flea market is not just for used and bruised items, it's for new items also. How we chose that, October National Flea Market is the big one. They bus people in. There's a lot of people there. I've been there myself. So do I care if I sell a lot of items that weekend? No. But what I'm getting is the foot traffic. I can hand out cards with my website and reach out to people, talk to people, let them get to know me. Really my business, it's not just selling about the clothing. I'm selling myself too, to others. So that's one way that we're reaching outside of our community. We hope to find more events that we can do that. I've reached out to other online boutiques to learn how they grew for help. And we'll just take it one step at a time. That's about all I can do. I have no clue how I'm going to do it, but I just know that if I take baby steps, it'll eventually get there. Yes?
I just want to make sure that I understood what you said. When I think you said that you are tithing 10% of your gross income?
Yes.
Okay, that's not the net. So you take that out before you pay for the pieces you sell?
Yes, I do.
That's very commendable, but there's a lot of businesses that don't even make 10%.
Right, yeah.
So I'm impressed, but don't be too disappointed if you can't keep that up.
I believe that I can keep it up.
That's great.
Yeah.
But sometimes, in take a grocery store, good grief, they gave 10% of their gross income before anything else. They'd be in a hole big time.
Yeah. In our personal finances, it was something that my husband and I decided to do as soon as we got engaged. Through our years of marriage, my husband lost his job as soon as we got married. As soon as we came back from our honeymoon, he lost his job. So since we were tithing, we were blessed. We didn't live any differently than we did when we had two jobs. So since I seen that, I knew that's what I wanted to do in my business, and I've seen an increase in it. Sometimes it does hurt a little bit when I write that check, but that's my way of stepping out on faith, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
I just want to make sure I understood
Yes,
what you
you
said.
understood it exactly right.
Because it's very unusual.
Yes, it is. For Yes.
As you're looking at growth, do you intend to do that organically, or will you be, obviously to open additional stores takes it to a whole new level in terms of the financial commitment. How do you intend to do that?
Right now, my ears are always open for knowledge. When I was at the Chamber of Commerce retail meeting for our holiday open house, someone kindly mentioned constant contact, which is a way to send out emails to others. And that is, just a small portion that I can spend for advertising, which brings me more customers through my web store. Like I said, I'm blessed with a husband that works too, so we don't spend a lot. The only thing that I've spent for my business money is I took a vacation, and I might buy groceries with it every now and then. But so we just keep putting our money back into the business to use that money to grow our business, and just praying that someday we'll be able to spend that money. Does that answer your question?
So you do intend to do it organically as opposed to either bringing in partners or borrowing money?
Yes, I don't want to borrow money. Right now, my business is $8,000 in debt. That's a small portion of money that I can really work hard to pay off this Christmas. I don't really want to do partnerships. I think that my vision could be conflicted by other people's opinions. So no, I don't want a partnership. I consider my tithing as my partnership with God that helps me with it. It gets me through it. But no, we're not interested in partnerships. But we do, ask for help from others. We do not have any employees right now. So what we do is just ask. I have a good friend that comes in and helps. I have a sister that helps. My mom is there working. So, but we don't intend to do any partnerships at this time.
So what do you see your biggest challenge in the future?
Evening out my home life with my business life currently is my biggest challenge. Keeping the house up, keeping my kids in line, spending time with them, spending time with my husband, and not constantly thinking about the business. But I think my other challenges in the future will be how to get that growth. But I truly feel like if I just seek help, it'll be a lot easier. I do foresee my husband having to quit his job at some point because we need help. That'll be a challenge to overcome that, to make enough money for him to be able to do that. And another challenge is learning how to have employees. It's going to be a new thing. I've had retail management experience before, and we had a team of like 8 girls. One boy at one time. It was a lot of fun. So I know that aspect, but I have no clue about payroll and HR issues. And I'm lucky I watched all the videos from here, and someone had mentioned PermCo one time. I'm gonna seek out, questions for them. So yeah, I think that will definitely be a challenge. I think another challenge will be organizing our shipment facility when our web store gets big. I can organize my stuff at home, I can organize within my store, but have no clue how to organize a shipping facility and what to do there. So I think we'll fail quite a bit, a couple times to get it right. So, and I'm okay with that. So, yes.
How about when you decided to go into business here in Madisonville, how did you find that process? Was it easy for you to navigate through all the process that the city and downtown for you to do?
Yes,
Who did you go to for guidance to get through, getting your facility set up and all the licensing and things like that? I know Sarah was a great help.
Yeah, Sarah's a great help. Amanda was a great help. She's already been through it. A lot of times, some things she wouldn't remember. I don't remember how I did that. I would just call the city office. What do you require for me to have? I know that there was a process getting my sign and sign home. There was a historical society that we had to go through to get that approved. But it was pretty easy. Like I said, if you ask questions, ask people who they know, who do I need to talk to, it was a pretty simple process. Madisonville's pretty easy. I would say that larger cities are a little bit more complicated, but I highly recommend people to look into opening businesses here.
Might recommend, if you do podcasts, if you know what I'm saying, no, I'll tell you later, but there are so much information there, and you can do that at your own pace,
Yes.
so.
Yeah. And I use Oyster, which is it's an app that has a collection of books. It's $9.99 a month, and I do read a lot. One that I really like is called Vision Blockers. It just keeps me on track. I do recommend, and I would love to listen to something. That would be great.
Right, and there are people just, well, I don't know, I'm not gonna say just like you, but they're beginning people that are now successful for their reasons, and it's really great information, again, no charge.
Yeah, that's great. I need to get more information on that. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about doing like a style show to introduce
Yes,
fall
we are
line?
doing that actually. House of Style, our new beauty salon in town, they're gonna show off their hair, August 14th, downtown during the Friday Night Live. So, they did ask us if we wanted to show some of our apparel items within that. We've also been in talks with, our, women's club, our local women's club. They have a big Christmas to do, like an auction and everything to raise money. We've been in talks with them, maybe having some girls dress up to auction off their items that they have. And that's just a way to show off our apparel and really get our name out in the community. And also, I plan to come here every Wednesday and go to the little mingle thing that's doing that. I'll be able to do more. Like, I really do feel like that's another challenge that I've had is this summer, both kids weren't in school. So we were on a totally different schedule. I didn't have a routine, so I wasn't able to come to meetings. So when school starts, I'm there for sure. Any other questions?
One of my favorite questions I like to hear from fellas, what, if you had to do it all over again from the very
I'm in
beginning,
a
is there
meeting right now, call you back.
anything you would do differently?
Oh gosh.
Or is there something that you say, dang, I wish we would have?
I probably wish I would have started on the online selling in the beginning so that I could have had more time to get that started. Maybe I would have found a better process in the beginning. I wish I wouldn't have set things back for myself to do later. I wish I would have just went ahead and jumped in and did that from the start, because right now we're in the growing pains, and I vent to Kelly a lot about this when she comes in. We're in growing pains, and I feel like I can't get my inventory in fast enough. I can't get the web store up fast enough. If I had my web store, we wouldn't be so aggravated with the street construction that we've got on in our street right now. I'm really excited about our new sidewalks. I'm excited about that. But if I had my web store, I could sell clothing online, and it would have helped our business. So yeah, I wish I would have just jumped in full force a little bit more with things that made me fearful or nervous. I wish I would have been more confident in those things. Because, if I fail, I fail, It doesn't hurt me as a person. It doesn't hurt my family, It just makes me sick. So, wish I would have let myself do that more. Any other questions or knowledge? I would love some knowledge.
How about the other side of that? The best thing that you think you did?
The best thing I did was just sticking with my vision, not letting anybody, we had a lot of young girls come in and they'll say, oh, it's not tight enough, it's not small enough, or the skirt's too long. And I didn't let those things get to me, I just kept on. Because I really truly feel that as a retailer, it's not our responsibility to cater to everyone's needs. We are here to teach them what's popular. We're there to tell them what they should be wearing. That's our job as a retailer. We're supposed to tell you what's in style. So I am really proud of myself for sticking to that, not letting people get to me. Yes.
Just a quick suggestion to think about. When you're thinking about growth, you might keep your eye open, and this is some point in the future, for purchasing another existing business that
Yes.
is either failing, poorly run, or for whatever. Because see, there your infrastructure is already there. Their phone is ringing, so when you walk in the door, you've got your customers, their customers. They're calling you.
We have actually, we've actually, it's something that I'm in the process of praying about, trying to think of local businesses and people that might be willing to retire soon.
Yeah, a lot of reasons.
In hopes that that business can go with my business, you know, that it goes together. I don't know really what that would be just yet, but something that goes together. And what that will do for me, I feel like, and this is what my thought process is it would give me the ability to hire employees. And with the funds of that established business already, that's a good way for me to do that. Does that make sense? Is that what you're trying to say? And I can gain more customers, a different clientele.
And looking also at being able to maybe purchase a property,
Yes.
which would give you the stability. You're
Yes.
not there yet.
Yes, I definitely don't want to pay rent forever.
But see, if the downside to rent is it always increases, and you've always got to keep in mind that I may have to move.
Yes,
And that's really a bad thing for a business.
yes, and that's a personal goal of mine too, is when I signed the lease, I made a promise to myself that I'm only gonna rent for 2 years. Don't ask me where I'm gonna go next, because I have no clue. But that is my personal goal, so we'll be up in a year, I think it's the first week of March, because we funded it pretty early. So, we've got another year to work on that goal. But yeah, I don't wanna pay, you know, to me, minding the bottom line in my business is so important. You know, a lot of people, when I travel with my business, people say, oh, well, that's a tax write-off, you know. Well, no, I only stay in hotels that I get free, you know, because the money that I would have spent on that expensive hotel is money I can buy more inventory with for my customers. You'll see me at the dollar store couponing for my paper towels and my toilet paper and my cleaner for my store. I only order bags when there's a sale going on from the vendor that I get them. So yeah, renting is definitely part of something that I don't like and if I purchase eventually.
But you gotta start someplace.
Got to start someplace, yes, and I couldn't start any better place than Soak Street. Soak Street is awesome, downtown, and that's another thing that I love. I travel all over the U.S. and I see all these downtowns up and coming, and it's so cool to me. And everybody wants it here. I mean, I know everybody wants downtown to be cool, and so I'm happy to be a part of that, because if I do it, more people will do it. So I really see growth downtown, you know? So I love that. And have a little family on Soak Street. Any more knowledge? Questions? Yes.
Indian money also changes.
Yes. Our jeans are our #1 seller. They fit everybody good. We'll get on that next week. Yes. That is jeans, tank tops, jewelry, and our leggings are our #1 sellers. All right. Well, thanks for having us. Yes.
I have a quick question. Well, I know for me, as you know, like a personal thing, you know, when I first came in there and I could find a few things, and then I was like, oh, here's what I like to wear to work, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then you would send me a message, you go, oh, I just got some stuff in, you're gonna love it, you know, and I would come over. And I know I'm not the only one you do that for. So how, you know, and you said that as far as, like, you know, the girls that come in and they're, you know, maybe you could guide them into wearing something a little more modest. How do you see that in the future? I mean, as you know, as you get bigger, I know it's gonna be harder because you have so many people to cater to, and when Philly Flair, what's her first name?
Laura.
Yeah, when Laura came, you know, we talked to her about that and about her, you know, her target market and what her demographic is and all those kind of things. And what do you see as, you know, as far as like when you buy stuff? I know that you.
How do I keep that personal
How do you
contact with the
try to make
customer
sure that you get, and not to get too many of anything so that it ends up on the clearance rack? 'Cause I know we all love that, but I you know, myself, I.
Contact with our customers in the future with growth, that will be simply training our employees to do the same thing that I do. I highly, you know, when I managed a store before, I always encourage even my part-timers to feel like they own the, you know, they run the show too. So in doing that, I find it very important for customers to not even know really sometimes who the owner is and who the boss is. You know, you want your employees to be the same way as you are. So that will be a way that, you know, our employees can feel the need to jot down those ideas. So-and-so enjoys this, or we find that this sells better, and that will keep me in the know. But as far as ordering stuff and not letting it end up on the clearance, it doesn't happen a lot because I have a small budget. So I don't over order. I have learned to not order something twice, other than my jeans and my leggings and my tank tops. But I try not to order things twice, not only because of Madisonville being a small community, we don't want everybody to end up at work with the same outfit, but because sometimes, you know, 6 to 8 of one thing is enough. So we're cautious. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just to add on to what Carol said, Brady's been wonderful, because my girlfriends, we all love to go shop at the store, and she's been so good about saying, oh no, well, you know, Megan has this, and you need this, and I'm not gonna let so-and-so buy this, and so it's been so nice to have that personal, we knew each other before, but now for her to call, and during our sidewalk sale, I have to brag on you for a minute. During our sidewalk sale this weekend, which was crazy, busy, hot, nasty, I was feeling gross just from running around all weekend. And I said, oh, by the way, I've got to make it down there when I have a chance, because I like just a new summer sundress before summer is over. So she said, oh, well, you know, I opened it a little bit. The girls were like, go, go, go. Of course, it gets crazy, and I didn't make it down there. Well, about 2 hours later, Brandy comes walking in with a little brown bag, and she was like, I got you something, you can pay me later. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, so of course I bragged on her all day. I'm like, you need to go down. Look what she did for me. I mean, it's just the small things that make Madisonville and small business and business owners like her just wonderful.
Yeah, and we're able to do, we do have customers that come in like, oh, not that dress, that's too expensive for right now, and I'm like, if you're telling me you're really gonna buy it, let's stick it in the closet and wait till you get paid. We do that a lot of times. It does make me nervous with growth to do that, but it all works out in the end for, you know, it's always positive. You do a positive thing, you get a positive thing back, so. Anybody else?
You know, Kelly Marie and Lee and I do the same thing. We have a piece of clothing. Yeah. Are you wearing it today?
Yeah.
Because it's very distinctive. Yeah. You don't want to show up and like that. Because they're, oh, no, you got that.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for having me. Real quick, if I got a pen and paper, if you want to jot this down real quick, you can sign up for our email list by texting. You getting that, Carol? 2282, text to that number, 22828, 22828, and text Flax and Wool as one word, and that will direct you to sign up for our email list. So you can get what's on sale and what we think's good for now. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you, Brandy. You obviously are on a mission.
Yes.
And it's business related, but it's more than that. So kudos to you for staying with not only your business vision, but your personal vision for your life. That's great. Appreciate everybody being here. Wow, we had a great turnout today. That's exciting. I'm looking for all of you back a week from today. Plus, bring some friends, and we'll just knock Kevin's walls out. Next week, Billy Harper is going to be here from Paducah. Ray and I have known Billy for, 20 years. He serves as president of Harper Industries. It includes 7 construction-related subsidiaries with offices in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Texas. Has construction sites in more than 20 states. Billy made a run for governor a few years ago. He served on Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence, lots of state and national boards. He's a professional race car driver on the International Hot Rod Association and National Hot Rod Association circuits. The guy's pretty amazing. He'll be a very entertaining speaker, and he's an awesome businessman. So come back. And again, while unlike Brandy and many of our other presenters, he's not from Madisonville, entrepreneurial lessons are entrepreneurial lessons. And he, over the years, has responded to the sinking economy and tweaked his business and changed it. And that's what makes an entrepreneurial business, not whether it's been in business 1 year or 30 years. So look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week.
Thanks.